Guus, hello. Can I start by asking you about the form of Diego Costa? 6 goals in his last 6 games after a spell of something like 4 in the previous 21. Is he doing anything differently? Have you noticed anything different about it?
I don't know what he did in the previous 20 or 20 plus games. What I know is what he's doing now, and I'm very pleased with him. I'm pleased, of course, with his efficiency regarding making the goals. We're depending a lot on him, too much sometimes, I think. But I'm very happy with his performance. I'm very happy with his attitude. So it's a key figure for us in the moment. He's very nice to everyone outside the pitch here in Cobham, to the club, and he is focusing on his job, and he's of huge importance for us. And I respect his attitude as well.
John Terry seems to be enjoying a good period of form at the moment. Also reports that maybe he might be offered something at the end of his career by the club. Could you see that happening in terms of the leadership that he's brought over the years to this?
Well, still bringing a lot of leadership, which is very important for the team. Regarding his future in relation to Chelsea. Well, we have to wait and see what will happen. That's a little bit early now.
John Terry and Zuma's form has kind of kept Gary Cahill on the bench in recent weeks. As the England vice-captain, could you understand if he's slightly concerned about his sort of chances as with Euro 2016 at the end of the season, that he's not getting on regularly?
Not with the chances of the not being in the Euro, because he is of big value, and it will prove that in the upcoming time as well. Of course, if players are not playing frequently, then they must get a bit frustrated. And I talked to him a few days ago about the situation, which I like to do always with the key players, which he is also. He's not to be considered as second to, but he is of big importance and will be. Also regarding the upcoming multitude of games we are advancing.
How much will your team selection for the cup tie then be influenced by the fact that you've got a midweek away game in the Premier League just a few days later?
Well, that's why it's coming up a lot of games in FA Cup, in the league, and also Champions League. So we have to think very, very cleverly how to get everyone fit and maintain everyone fit. That's important. But FA Cup is important for us, and then we don't think at this moment on the next Wednesday game in Watford.
Would a good FA Cup run help or hinder your continued progress in the Premier League at the moment?
Well, it helps. Every win helps, even on training where we always play to win. And that's what I like. The attitude now is there to give everything in every duel as a team and as an individual. So it will help, of course. It will help.
Have you had a sense that the 3 points you got at Arsenal have had almost an extra value to them because of the importance of that game and what it may do for the club collectively?
Well, it was. I will not say a key game. It was a Premier League game, but there's also something extra when Arsenal and Chelsea having this confrontation, especially in Emirates, and the statistics were in favour of Chelsea. But the way we performed over there, even when it was 11 against 11, we tried to get them as soon as possible high, with a high pressing, and then we tried to make an early score, which almost was successful with William. But the result was encouraging for the team's confidence as well.
Mathematically, of course, 4th place is still a possibility, but presumably a result like that can only help everybody believe you could yet get there.
Yeah, I said before, it's theoretically, mathematically still possible, and as long as is that a possibility, we will go for that. But we also aim on the other targets with capitals.
Sure. Transfer deadline day just a few days away now, so forgive me if I ask a few questions about that. But can I just start
some
about
suggestions?
Alexandre Pato? He's been in London a few days now. Is there any suggestion that deal has hit Pato?
Yeah, he is in London. He was well spotted. Nowadays there are no secrets because anywhere are cameras, etc., etc., and we don't want to hide. But he is now in the process of bureaucratic paperwork, so we don't rush it, and we'll see how soon it will be solved. Then he can go on the pitch where I'm waiting.
Okay. Look, Remy, do you expect to still have him as a player?
He's injured for the moment. They have a slight injury on his calf, and we'll see what happens in the upcoming days.
And in terms of Ramires, why was he allowed to leave? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, he was in. First of all, I think we must pay him tribute because he had a good, let's say, very good performances in the past in this club, with important contribution of his side. And he is 29 and was having this huge offer from a club in China. And the club talked about that, and would give him this favorite what he can get in China. Also regarding his career in Chelsea, and he was not playing frequently. He was playing, but the club had the attitude, and I think it's to be rewarded to give him this beautiful transfer.
There are reports that Juventus would perhaps like to make Juan Cuadrado's on-loan move more permanent. Is that something that could happen over the next few days?
Could you repeat your question?
Juan Cuadrado, who's on loan obviously at Juventus, is that a deal for him to move there permanently, something that may happen over the next few days?
No, that's not at this moment. We'll see what will happen. That's for the upcoming month, and what the club's philosophy is and strategy is regarding making the new season.
And is there anything you can say about the US defender Matt Miazga, who's been linked with Chelsea?
Yeah, he will be. We're not rushing, but he will be one of the squad members for the future. Young guy, stepping up to the national team, and that's always have such a players here. You can see what they are capable of in training. And have some players on loan is always. I'm not talking about him, but Pato, for instance, is good to have him on loan so he can see what he can bring in this team. The same is with this player, young player, promising player, and see if he can adapt himself to the high demands of this club and the Premier League.
So, just finally, on a general level, it would seem you're going to be busy over the next few days before that window closes.
Yeah, if you don't have any other suggestions, we will stick to that.
Guus, on the transfer front, how much input do you have, obviously given that you're only here to the end of the season, how much input do you have on who comes and who goes at this stage?
I try to restrict myself to where I'm here of is to focus on Premier League first, also to focus on the other two aims we have, and I'm not much into next season, who they must hire or buy or sell or whatsoever.
But would you suggest someone, say, to come in January on?
If I would have, and of course I have ideas. But then I will not make it publicly. I will do that internally.
You said you had a chat with Gary Cahill.
Yeah.
Did you have to convince him that this is the right place for him to stay at the moment? Are there suggestions he might be looking to?
No, but he was very open and very clear that he loves to stay in this club. There was no single space let by him to say I'm not happy. He's very happy here, but of course, not playing, it gives a little bit of frustration, which is normal. But I like very much his attitude on training. He never gives up, and that always will be rewarded. And there was no hint from his side, can I leave the club? Nothing.
Just reading between the lines with Ramires, is there a suggestion there if he were to be fit that he could be allowed to leave?
Well, I don't think the being injured now doesn't have any influence on staying or going away. It's a minor injury, so we'll see what will happen in the upcoming hours.
On the FA Cup, you played pretty much a full strength side, didn't you, in the last round? And you've obviously got the league game coming up on Wednesday. Is the FA Cup now more of a priority for you than the Premier League?
No, I don't want to confirm that, because then we neglect a bit the beauty and the importance of the Premier League. But of course, first step now is to make next Sunday, and then I think the team now is so eager then to go into the Wednesday game. So it's I don't want to disrespect the Premier League, but that's after Sunday.
How important is it for you, the Cup? Obviously, last time you were here, you won it. For a short-term period to come in and win a trophy and then leave.
Yeah, it's not just for me. I think a club as Chelsea must always go for a title, and that was the targets were in the past with the Premier League, and that was also with the Champions League and FA Cup. So we are not here to pass the time, of course. We are here to pass the time, but in a good way to aim the group on targets. And FA Cup is a target.
Sorry, Matt. Back row, please.
Hi, from a Brazilian TV, you mentioned before that Romario was the best player you had, Brazilian player you worked together, and now you are close to have Pato in your squad. Do you see any similarity between these two players?
Not yet, to be honest. If you see the record of Romario, that was a long time ago. And you compared it with the record of Pato, there's still a big difference. So when he comes in, he has to settle. We give him all the time to settle down, to get used to the very demanding league, and then it's up to him to make this gap smaller and smaller.
When he started in 2006 in Porto Alegre International, he was very prolific in front of the goal. Did he change in his time in Milan?
At that time he was a youngster. He was a promising youngster. And it was nice to see also a very stylish player. It was nice to see him. And then he had a few years in Milan. After that he did not go to a big step in Europe. He went back to Brazil. So he thinks he got another chance to make a step in Europe, in England, which is a brave step. But it's up to him, and we help him. We help him to get fit and to see what he can bring this club.
Okay, Matt.
Guus, you spoke of Miazga, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, as a player for the future. Is he going to be involved in the squad for the rest of the season?
Yeah, he will be. I don't know exactly the hour, but he will be in for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And how concerned are Chelsea that FIFA is scrutinising the club's recruitment of young players?
It's difficult to answer for me. I think people who are in charge of this, I think you must address your question to them.
We've already issued a statement on that issue, Matt.
Okay. And is Bertrand Traore, is he going to be in the squad this weekend? Is he going to
He will be, yeah.
Just given where the club were when you came in, would winning the FA Cup represent a success for the club?
I think so, because when you look at the table in December around Christmas, just before Christmas, then the team was 1 point off the relegation zone. No, we recovered a bit, and we made some steps with draws, and now hopefully we can make some steps with some victories. But then it's still you're not on top of this league where Chelsea should be, always competing in the position 4 to 1. But then going into the road to the FA Cup would be a huge achievement, because the FA Cup is not just an undervaluated cup. nor in England nor worldwide. So it would be a very good achievement.
Okay, we'll do two more before we finish. Let's do Simon here, and then we'll finish up back row.
Just a couple. One on Gary Cahill. I know you sort of already said he wants to stay, but is it also, from the club's point of view, that he's not for sale as well?
No, he's very happy, and he's of value. And as far as I'm concerned, I will have him in the upcoming month, and I think the club will have him in the upcoming years. It's I think they signed a new contract a year ago or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Just recently. Yeah.
Recently, he renewed his contract, which is a signal that he loves the club. He likes to be here. And some players sometimes they have a little bit of period that they don't play frequently. But in the multitude of games, everyone will get his minutes to play, his games to play.
And just quickly on Pato, he's obviously, you've already referred to the fact that his career has had to go back to Brazil and stuff. Is he a gamble worth taking, and how long do you think it'll take to
I think it's not a gamble, because coming on loan makes it possible to have a good view on him, whether he is able to adapt to the high demands of the club and the league. We give him all the support in this, but it's up to him. And if you buy those players, with all respect, those players is a little bit disrespectful, I didn't mean that. But if you buy players who must make a next step, then it's more of a risk. Now I think on loan it's good for everyone to see whether he is happy in this club and whether the club is happy with him after his few months in the upcoming time.
And presumably it will take a while though for him to get into the team, just because he hasn't played since November.
I think so because they were in preparation, but he cannot. I think he cannot be fully fit yet. So we have to get him as soon as possible on a good high physical level.
Okay, and just finish up this section. Yeah.
How do you view the January transfer window as a whole? Is it an unwanted distraction for you?
Distraction.
Yeah, the January transfer window and transfer deadline then.
No, of course, when it's ending on Sunday, then everything will be more relaxed and more quiet. There have been and there will be in the latest hours always some transactions, but when it's over, then everyone can focus on what he has to do.